normal is probably either a blind playthrough or, you know, depending on, you know, if it's a second playthrough or multiple playthrough, it'll probably tell you something. So like, it gives me a reason to come back to a game too and play the game in a different way. If I'm playing a game on its hardest difficulty the first time, I kind of lose another reason to play it again. It's like, and so that's why I'm like, maybe I should save some of that stuff. Damn it, I hate it when I do that. I didn't do that. Let's go to system, and I'm going to go back home, wherever home is. Yeah, there's home. Let's go back home. Actually, let's land on let's land on Jemison. Hopefully it'll allow me to do that. Even though I'm leaving them to dust and dry. It should be alright. They should handle it just fine. I'm gonna go to the lodge. Why not? Why fucking not? Oh, survival modes, that's different though. Like, the survival modes, they play a little differently than actually jacking up the difficulty all the way up, because it's like almost playing it in a different way. Because I think even
if we're going to head into,
I think even Bethesda said, or not Bethesda, but Todd Howard said, if you play Skyrim and Fallout 4 and survival mode, it does changes the parameters a little bit of how the game is actually played, and especially when it comes to combat and all that. It's not as hard as like jacking up the difficulty to the extreme, but it makes certain lethalities a little bit more different, so that's understandable. I can play these games in survival difficulty because it's just playing the game in a different way. But like, the way Bethesda treats difficulty is just pretty much making everything like a tank and hitting like a fucking tank and turning you and pretty much into like an amoeboid. And it's just, that's not the way difficulty should handle. If you're gonna make enemies lethal, I would want myself to be lethal too, so we're on equal playing grounds. So if I can get killed in one shot, I should also still be able to kill the enemy in one shot too. So we're on equal playing fields. Once again, that's not more of a difficulty thing, it's more of a having to calculate where you're going to be, what's your rad levels, what's your rad protection. Do you have certain things to prevent that? It's more of just like, okay, now that you're playing Fallout 4 on survival difficulty, you're gonna have to, you know, pre-allocate a lot of different things and also save up things. And it also puts, like, if I remember correctly, it puts weight and ammo. So you can only carry so many guns and you can only carry so much ammo. So that makes the game even more, I think, not difficult, but it makes the game a lot more encumbersome. not to throw out some dad jokes there, but yeah. And I mean, that's the whole thing with video games anyway. Unless you play certain things like maybe old school Devil May Cry games and Platinum games and all that, with RPGs and all that, even playing on the hardest difficulty, you eventually turn an RPG into easy mode, because you eventually become god tier, because you got the best stuff, you got the best stats and everything like that. Even on the hardest difficulty, a game can get turned into a kid's toy. So there's that. But then you play games like Ninja Gaiden, that it never gets easier. Even the Souls games are very good examples of that. Like, it just depends on what you like to do. Never played Ninja Gaiden? Ninja Gaiden's harder than I consider Ninja Gaiden games a lot harder, like 10 if not 30 times harder than Souls games and all that. Because you know how people praise the Dark Souls, Bloodborne and all that like being some of the hardest games out there. I laugh every fucking time when people do that. Or if you really want to play a hard game, just play some of the older games back then, Contra and all that other shit. You want a fucking hard motherfucking game to play some of the old school games. Nothing beats how hard those motherfucking games are. Playing an older game like that, well, it'll humble you. It fucking humbles people. Due to the fact you only have 3 lives and you can die in 1 bullet. And the game's like, I don't know, the games are short, but they're fucking hard. Actually, you don't have to be forced to PvP, just turn online mode off. Yeah, you can do that. Just don't turn on online. Oh, if you want to play co-op, that's because online mode's on. That's the thing. I don't do co-op in Souls games, so I never ran into that experience. I've always played my Souls games offline because I'm not a fan of PvP. PvP just kind of ruins things. It ruins the pace of things. It ruins the overall like just feel of the game. I don't know why FromSoft ever thought like PvP and their games were ever going to be good. PvP and all of the Dark Souls, Bloodborne are just fucking trash. I just like to co-op in those games. It's been a fan of Souls games a lot. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what FromSoft is going to be working on later on. Now that they're finished and they released their latest Armored Core game, kind of makes me wonder if they're going to keep working on maybe another Armored Core game. They're going to go back to some Souls-like games. Or, because, to be honest, Elden Ring's supposed to be a trilogy. And, kind of wonder if they're gonna keep doing that. I mean, the more they get to work with what's his face, the better. Armored Core is also a hard series. If anyone's played Armored Core games before, those games are no joke either. I think any FromSoft game, like games they've worked on in the past, Armored Core, even some of their older games, have always had the reputation of just being difficult. Here's the thing though, I could probably, that situation that you guys witness about me like constantly keep doing that fight and all that, I could probably put the game on the easiest difficulty and I would still get shot out of the sky. And I think the reason is because I do not have a good enough ship and systems. I also don't have enough points put into the ship mechanics like ballistics, energy weapons, shielding, piloting. I don't have enough of that in mind. So that's what's kind of fucking me over too. So I think in the long run, like no matter what difficulty I did in that scenario, it will not improve it. So I could probably, probably legitimately put it on the easiest difficulty and I would still die no matter how good I fought or how lucky I am. So I think I need to, what's a good way to like, I think people said joining the Vanguard is a good way to level up your piloting skills. So I might do that. Hopefully this mission is not time sensitive, but I might join the Vanguard. What is it? I think it's under faction. Let's read you industry. I think it's this one. Yeah, Vanguard. Let's do that. Yeah, what is like the 6th Armor Core game, if I'm correct. So, but I think FromSoft says like you could probably jump in this game and not have to play the other games. You'll be just fine. Mercenaries 5, as in like Mech Warriors or Mech Assault? Man, I haven't played that one. If that's why you're talking about. Maybe you want to become a pirate. A pirate. I'm gonna join the I'm gonna see if I can, because if there's anything that's ruining the playthrough right now, space combat. I need to get better at space combat. So
I can watch your back.
I have a feeling joining the Vanguard is probably the best thing I can do. Mech Warriors 5 Mercenaries. Okay, yeah. Because that's on Game Pass too. Might have to jump into that game one day. It is on the future games list. I just don't know how it compares to the other Mech Warrior games though. So I'm a big fan of Mech Warriors and also Mech Assault. They're pretty much the same universe, but different developers and stuff like that. I think the Mech Assault franchise kind of halted after it a little bit. I think I need to go down. Yeah, I need to go down there. Oh shit, how do I get down there? Games on Game Pass for at least your PC turns into shit. Wait, how do you get down there? I don't remember. I'm a little confused. Wait. I still don't know how to navigate this stupid city. Or, hey. Let's do this. I keep forgetting this is a mechanic. It's like, oh, I'm lost. I don't know where the fuck to go. Yeah, I know there's a walkway. It's just finding the walkway is the problem. So let's see. There it is. See, I was not near the walkway. Finding the walkway is the problem. I know there's a way to get down there, but the game wouldn't tell me until I bring up the scanner. It's like, how the fuck do you get down there? Alright, let's join the fucking Vanguard because they're gonna be they're my only hope. They're my only hope to freaking getting better at ship combat. Hopefully doing Vanguard stuff gets you better ships. I wonder if doing this quest line gets you a better ship. Like really good ship. I don't know, I'm gonna have to build a good ship. I don't want to build a good ship. I don't agree. Do not agree. Current bounty. Well, that's good. 0 bounty.
You may now proceed through the historical displays in the orientation hall.
This should be my cooldown period. Now that I'm done being pissed off at the game. Yeah, that was definitely not a scenario of like difficulty, because I think that was a scenario of being thrown into a mission and not telling you that you're not ready for that mission, no matter like what. You will never ever beat this mission, no matter how lucky you get. It was like, well, fuck.
In 2050, humanity learned the Earth's magnetosphere would collapse sometime in the next half-century, eliminating all life on the planet. Decisive faction was required, but the secure transport of an entire civilization would demand a new kind of cooperation.
Yeah, we get to learn about the history of what happened.
Kind of union. Thus, in 2159, the United Colonies were formed to make that journey possible. Just 1 year later, the Galileo, the first of many colony ships, touched down here on Jemison, beginning a new era of human history, the age of the United Colonies.
The effort and planning it must have taken to evacuate literally the entire planet. Can you imagine? The logistics alone must have been mind-boggling.
Nope, can't imagine a thing.
From their foundation, the United Colonies strove to provide all their citizens with opportunity, security, and peace. But there were those among the UC that still wanted something more. Independence.
Independence.
So in 2161, the UC issued the Centaurus Proclamation, granting UC citizens the right to settle distant worlds and form their own sovereign powers. It wasn't long before the first new faction, the Free Star Collective, was formally organized in 2188, later followed by House Varun.
Yeah, I landed on Earth once and I was like, I landed somewhere in Texas or something like that,
The result of
and there was nothing. It was like, what?
so much conflict arose as a result. Was it worth it?
House Varun.
It was only in 2230 that the faction known as House Varun first made contact with the rest of the settled systems.
Ooh.
Founded by the passengers of a colony ship that had left New Atlantis and disappeared 4 decades earlier, House Varun was a faction unlike any other. A theocracy
Yep.
dedicated wholly to the beliefs of its isolationist founder, Janan Varun. House Varun initially made overtures of peace towards the rest of the settled systems. They claimed their only intention was to spread the word of their god, the Great Serpent. But none could have guessed that this worship might take the form of a bloody war, the Serpent's Crusade.
Yeah, the Varun dudes are the guys that worship the Great Serpent. I'm correct.
The Freestar Collective was initially founded in 2188.
Give me a
The
second.
citizens of Aquila banded together with the pleasure city of Neon in mutual defense. But in 2194, after the deployment of a UC medical star station in orbit around their world, the citizens of Narion also requested to join the collective. The resulting rise in tensions between the Freestar Collective and UC culminated in the settled system's first intergalactic conflict, the Narion War. Despite a decisive victory by the UC, the colonies permitted the citizens of Narion to join the collective, forming the basis for the fiercely independent union that persists to this day.
See, the Freestar Collective seems like the Space Cowboys. Kinda. I don't know. They're the free range guys. Yeah. Sorry if I sounded like I was angry with anyone. I hate it when I have to talk to people when I'm frustrated because I feel like I'm dishing it out on other people. It's like I hate it. I hate it when I'm like streaming a game or playing a game on stream and I get to a frustrating point and I feel like I'm being an asshole. It's like, no, I don't play. I'm trying not to dish it out on people. But it just comes out that way. Yeah, they're pretty much the Americans of space. America! Fuck yeah!
2240, House Varun forces declared all-out war on the rest of human civilization, initiating the
Oh,
Starfield
yeah.
Crusade. Over the next 23 years,
I like the art.
thousands of Freestar
Silhouetted art.
and independent souls were killed by agents of House Varun.
I can easily turn that into pointillism.
It was only with the death of their founder in 2263 and the succession of his heir, Jarek, that House Varun finally sued for peace. There remains, however, select members of House Varun who refuse to recognize the cessation of hostilities their leaders established. Even after House Varun's mysterious disappearance, these zealots remain a threat to all who encounter them.
I think I ran into some.
A goal of all space.
I ran into some, but I haven't gotten into a fight with them. I think it was during the main mission. Yeah, the main mission in the beginning, because I haven't done a lot of the main mission. I think I only found like the second piece of the artifact, so I'm not too far into the main mission. I'm like 30 hours in now. But yeah, I've only ran into like one of those guys, and I had to like sneak past them, like with only like 1 or 2 pegs of like engine power into it. Because you had to like pretty much knock out all the power from your ship just to sneak past them. And I didn't know you could do that. That's pretty cool. But yeah, it gets to be a little bit of a problem. Conflict among the stars. Ooh, let's get to this information.
Conflicts between the galaxy's factions. None was more brutal than the recent colony war between the
It does, yeah.
and the Freestar
It's like,
Collective.
okay, no more story time. Gonna explore now.
Set off by the unauthorized Freestar colonization of Vesta's Pride in 2308, a direct violation of the Nerion Treaty, the colony war spread quickly across the galaxy.
I wonder if any of this is true, though.
Deployed every tool at their disposal. Armadas of warships, mechanized combat platforms, or mechs. Even bioengineered alien creatures. The infamous UC xeno-weapons. It was only in 2311 at the Battle of Cheyenne that the scales finally tipped. The Freestar Collective, utilizing their civilian fleet
Apparently.
as a human shield,
Apparently there's mechs.
successfully the superior United Colonies Navy. After their shocking victory against the galaxy's greatest navy, the Freestar Collective offered terms of peace, which the colonies, out of an interest in staving off any further human costs, accepted.
I wonder if the mechs are kind of like Vasco,
Ever since.
like that size.
Was a horrible conflict that irreparably wounded the settled systems. There were times I felt that it would never end.
Oh no! Wait, here, there we go. No, that's the mech. Oh, so they're about. I wonder if they have to lay in it. It looks like they have to lay down into the mech, because it doesn't seem like there's this like at their waistline, or do they sit into it or do they lay into it? It's interesting. But yeah, it looks like they have like a rail gun there, or it might be what type of gun would that be? Is that a Gauss cannon? That might be a Gauss cannon. But yeah, imagine that thing grabbing you and ripping you in half. That's probably what would happen. Oh yeah, Battle of Nera?
Few settled worlds were left untouched by the colony war. But nowhere could the viciousness of modern warfare be seen more clearly than on the Freestar planet of Nera.
Aha! Pronounced it correctly. Nera.
Occupied by invading United Colonies forces as a forward operating position, repeated attempts to take and retake the planet by collective forces led only to devastation. Swaths of the world were transformed
Vehicles work?
into scorched husks, a nightmarish testament to the depths of human ingenuity
That's cool art.
and human cruelty.
I like that.
And today,
Say I like that.
Nera
I like that type of
is a
artwork.
continuing reminder to the horrors of unfettered war.
There's emotion into it. Their art team, certain people in their art team do a really good job. Oh, what the fuck is that? Is that an actual alien?
You see general that condemned Londinian? Gave it over to these things. One of these murals said he was executed after the war. Might have gotten off too lightly.
One of my slates said terramorphs can control people's minds. But that can't be true.
Yeah, original Fallout games. I think, yeah, you could get into the, I don't know if they were called APCs or something like that.
In the midst of the colony war, a different kind of tragedy struck the UC city of Londinian. A newly constructed but critical supply center for the United Colonies' war effort, Londinian found itself overrun by one of the galaxy's most mysterious predators.
Oh, a special car?
The Terramorph.
Yeah, let me know what type of vehicle it was.
To all human settled worlds, Terramorphs swept over.
Oh, they're Terramorphs. Oh yeah, I fought one of them.
On a scale never before seen in recorded history.
I fought one on my first planet.
Valiant efforts by the UC military
Terramorphs. I remember those.
proved unstoppable.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to.
The decision was made to destroy.
Oh, it's a comic book panel. That's cool.
City, the outbreak, and its citizenry from the galaxy at large. The tragedy of Londinian is mourned by the UC to this day.
I wonder if I can visit Londinian and if there's like a bunch of like Terramorphs still there. It was called Highwayman. Proper. And Fallout 1. It's weird that that was the only like vehicle you could really actually have. That was only in Fallout, the first Fallout. Alright, so what is this one? The Armistice. Oh, okay. This is like, you know, no war.
After the devastation wrought by the colony war,
Oh, cool imagery.
the Freestone Collective came together to ratify a treaty that became known as the Armistice. Both sides agreed to a vast reduction in standing forces, and that xeno-weapons and mech warfare would be outlawed. All related research was sealed away, accessible only in cases of dire emergency. But the Collective had another demand, that the active commanders of the UC military stand trial for their actions. The United Colonies, in the interest of peace and galactic
So that's cool too.
agreed. In 2311, 3 United Colonies senior officers were found guilty. Commander Henry Durant, General Indira Rastogi, and Fleet Admiral Francis,
If they allowed you.
known better as Vae Victus. All were sentenced to death for their actions, bringing the colony war to a close and returning peace to the galaxy at long last.
I was a strong supporter of the armistice. All of the terrible weapons that both sides used against one another. It had to end.
Yeah, like in the Fallout games, you will see all these broken down vehicles and everything like that. And you kind of think to yourself, with all this shit you can find and all the technology that is still working in the Fallout universe, you would think, other than vertibirds and all that, like, you know, vertibirds, you can, like, you know, those are working. NPCs can fly those and all that. But you can't fly those. The closest thing you could do, I think it was in Fallout 4, is you can call down a vertibird like support. That was it. You can't control vertibirds and stuff like that, but you can call a vertibird to help you. The Vanguard is born. Oh, this is the people I'm about to join.
It was into this new world that the Vanguard was born.
Yeah, support birds. Vertibirds.
Special branch of the UC Navy, the Vanguard is the United Colonies Volunteer Fleet, serving a myriad of security, logistical, and reconnaissance roles. And after a sufficient length of service, UC citizenship is guaranteed to every Vanguard.
Oh, I'm gonna be a UC citizen,
Open to all
but I'm UC born though, I think.
The Vanguard is leading the charge to protect and support the citizens of the United Colonies, wherever in the galaxy they may be.
So cool, I'll get citizenship. Wonder if the United States ever thought about doing that for people that are like